Hi, I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds all over the world through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're talking about how to get teens to open up. In this video, we're going to talk about why teens might not be opening up sometimes, and some key things that you can do using self-government skills and principles to help your teen open up to you. I have to honestly admit that I did go through a phase in my life where I did not open up to my parents. The thing is, I remember vividly why that happened. I felt like they didn't trust me, they didn't value me, they didn't understand me. There were certain things I wanted and they did not understand. I also did not feel like that they were fully connected to my life. So it's very easy to get disconnected from a teen. So we've got years and years now. Let's say your child's been going to school for all these years. I mean, most children go to school, right? And mine were homeschooled, so we didn't actually go through this time, this weirdness of not opening up. But children who do go to school, they get disconnected from their parents for 9 months out of the year, where they are now communicating with just people that are their same age, and they're in this whole other world that the parents aren't necessarily part of. The parents know about assignments and projects, maybe some activities. They may meet the teacher and a few of the friends here and there, but they're technically outside of the circle of influence a lot of the time. And so by the time a child gets to be in their teen years, sometimes they are just in the habit of not opening up to their parents and not talking to them. They've been sorting out all of their problems with a whole bunch of other people and not including their parents in the problems. So now they have a habit of not opening up to their parents. And when this happens, sometimes they feel like they're not sure if they can trust their parents to know the truth about what they think, feel, or what's going on in their lives. Many teens actually judge their parents. They're biased against people who are older. Our culture is training them to do that. So they will sometimes think, well, the parents, they won't understand. They'll just get mad. They'll just shut down my phone. They'll just whatever. And so because of their fear of what a parent's power possibly has over them, they keep the parents at bay by telling them the least amount of information possible. This actually hurts them a lot. They feel isolated every time they're at home. They start to resent interactions with their parents, even though secretly inside they want to feel belonging, they want to feel cuddled, loved, understood, all of those types of things. So please always remember that even if they are pushing you off with everything that they have, it seems, inside, every single person wants belonging. They want to be part of you. They want to know that they're yours. They want to feel like you completely understand and you love them no matter what. They want someone to be there for them, to help them. Now, that doesn't mean you have to agree with everything that they're doing. That doesn't mean that you have to see all their same viewpoints through the same lens. You don't. The world is a messy place right now. It used to be that parents and children and grandparents and everybody, for the most part, had the same shared virtues. And so no matter who was talking to who, it would all come back to the same things. But nowadays, there are so many viewpoints that are stemming from a completely different foundation, maybe a foundation of self as opposed to a foundation of goodness, which are two completely different things. So that could make it seem like that there is a big barrier in place too. So if your child has been online, if they've been learning things that you are not aware of, then they will put up more and more walls and not talk to you. They will not think that you can handle or trust what they have been learning and what they know and what they think. Keep that in mind. Oftentimes that means they are hiding something, but it doesn't mean that they want to be alone in that. Sometimes one of the best things that a parent can do is come up to their child and just say, listen, I know you've seen a lot of stuff online. I know there's so many things out there that are confusing. There's so many messages that are against the way that we live, and that probably makes you feel like you're not sure if we're living the right way or if everybody else is living the right way. I would sure love to talk to you about that. I promise I won't push my ideas on you. I just want to hear what you're hearing and what you're thinking about it. I want to know where you're really at. I want to know the real you. You say that to them and they're like, what? What's the catch? And you might even have to say, listen, there's no catch. This isn't a trick. I honestly just want to hear the things that you think I'm doing wrong, or the things that you think I could do better, or where you think our family is living in the dark ages. I want to hear all of that stuff. I hope that also you might want to hear some things that I have to say too as we go through this conversation. But I'm not worried about convincing you to my viewpoint. I honestly just want to know where you're at. Sometimes you just have to get rid of the elephant in the room, okay? So if you know why they are possibly distancing themselves from you and not opening up, well then just address it and say, you're probably here and I would totally get that. And I know that we probably are, hard people to live with, but I want to know something. And then I hope you'll be open-minded enough to hear what I have to say too. You say that, I hope you're open-minded enough to hear what I have to say too. Wow, that's huge. And then you can even tell them, and in the end, if we disagree on an issue, I'm okay with us disagreeing. I want you to know that. I still have to lead the family in a certain way, but I am okay with you not believing every single thing I believe. You have to make your own choices. You say something like that, that shows them instant respect, that shows them that you are open. So often the children are not opening up to you because they don't think you'll be open. In fact, they're quite sure you're not open because their whole life you've been telling them what to do, what not to do, who's a bad person, who's a good person, and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. But that's now just the lens that they're looking through. It's this very limited lens. And they think they can't trust you because you have been instructing them and correcting them. When they get to be in their teen years, they start feeling like they need to step out and do a few things alone and start to make decisions on their own. Otherwise, they're never going to make it to adulthood, right? And they don't think they're never going to make it to adulthood. They just get this feeling like, now's the time for me. I'm older. I'm smarter. I can start making these decisions. And as soon as they start doing that, they start feeling like, and I have to do it alone because my parents have always been telling me what to do. And as soon as they start thinking they're doing it alone, they start going to consult their friends and other people who really know nothing about lots of stuff. But even so, that's what happens. And it's because they see, because of our teaching, or they think because of our teaching in the years past, that we will be closed-minded as we talk to them. But we don't have to be closed-minded. We can choose to be open-minded as we discuss a differing of opinions and even our roles in our family. It's absolutely possible. So I recommend having what I call a parent counseling session. So if you have been learning about teaching self-government, if you have taken, say, the TSG parenting course, which is at teachingselfgovernment.com, then you will know there is something called a parent counseling session. The parent counseling session has 14 steps, and it's a type of a conversational framework that you can go through to open up to the children and to get them to open up to you and to start to make plans for your future going forward. But don't stop there. Once you have decided to have that parent counseling session, there is a step in there where you get to planning for the future. When you get to the planning step for the future, you're going to want to talk about the vision for your relationships, and there's a whole part on vision in that course and that training so that you can create a really good vision that both of you can buy into and how to do that. You'll also want to talk about how do we solve problems, how do we communicate, how do we correct things. Let's just talk about all that stuff deliberately. Chances are you've been emotional, they've been emotional, so there's walls. And nobody's being deliberate anymore. Everybody's assuming and they're, thinking the worst of the other person or feeling like the victim of the other person's oppression. We don't need to stay in that place. Just get honest, bring things into the light. Have a discussion that really works, that does not get emotional or place blame anywhere, and then create a path forward by creating a plan that involves actual communication skills, even scripts that you will use when you have a problem to solve. In fact, did you know you can do the TSG parenting course with your child? If your child's a teen, say, hey, you know what, you should know this, it really applies to you. It's going to be the way I'm parenting you, so you may want to learn it so that you know if I ever do it wrong. So you can have them even watch some of it with you. And right at the beginning, they're going to be like, yeah, you've done that. That's wrong. And you'll be like, yep, that's right. I have done that and I've got to improve. You will learn so many great things that you can use together. So work on that together, or take one of the 3-day parenting mastery trainings, whether it's online or whether it's in person in another location. Your youth can come to that with you too, so long as they, aren't going to cause a problem in the group. Our young people want to open up to us. They actually feel a desire for that belonging, and it's up to us to give them that assurance that it's okay. Continually, even if they keep pushing against us again and again, we cannot give up. That's not our role. Our role is to be the support for them, to always be there for them, teaching them, guiding them, cherishing them, loving them. They need that so much. If this has given you a taste of something that's possible, then I highly recommend go to teachingselfgovernment.com, look at the courses that are there, look at some of the other things, get the information that you need, the training that you need to help your relationship change. It is possible. It is absolutely possible. Thousands and thousands of families have changed their relationships. So go to teachingselfgovernment.com. I'll see you there.